Welcome to Lesson 25 of the Jamf 100 course, Configuration Profiles for tvOS. This is Kyle from Jamf, and in this lesson we will discuss and deploy configuration profiles for Apple TV. Configuration profiles allow IT administrators to remotely enforce settings and provide utility for MDM-enabled devices. Like iOS and macOS, tvOS can be provisioned with configuration profiles. tvOS 11 supports a number of configuration profile payloads. Some of these payloads are shared with iOS, such as Wi-Fi, restrictions, and single app mode. Others are unique to Apple TV, like conference room display. We can create configuration profiles for Apple TV by navigating to the Devices tab in Jamf Pro and clicking on Configuration Profiles on the left side. On this screen, we have the option to create new profiles or upload existing profiles from our computer. I'm going to create a new profile and start with one that enforces restrictions. Here, we'll need to provide a name for our configuration profile. Optionally, we can enter a description, assign a category, and choose our method of installation. I'm going to install this profile automatically on our devices. Let's click on the restrictions payload on the left side and click Configure. Here we can toggle from iOS restrictions to tvOS or tvOS and iOS. Under tvOS, we have 4 available configurations. We can disable AirPlay altogether, which requires the device to be supervised, require a passcode the first time a device attempts to connect via AirPlay, disable control using the remote app from an iOS device, which also requires supervision, and allow or disallow keyboard continuation from iOS device keyboards. Under tvOS and iOS, we can affect functionality, restrict app usage, and enforce content restrictions for media. In this example, I'm going to prevent users from modifying device name by unchecking the box under the Functionality tab. Then, navigating to Applications, I'll restrict use of the Game Center by selecting Applications, Do Not Allow Some Apps, clicking Add, supplying the name, selecting the bundle identifier from the resulting list, and clicking the small Save button. Let's also disallow playback of explicit media from the Media Content tab. Once we've configured our restrictions, we're going to establish our scope. In this case, we will scope this profile to our Apple TV, scroll down and find it, click the Add button, and click Save to deploy the profile. Like all configuration profiles, tvOS profiles deploy through Apple's push notification service, installing almost immediately on devices that are on and connected to a network. So it's important we configure the scope correctly before saving our work. If we take a look at our Apple TV, we'll see the name of our device is no longer configurable. Like iOS, we can also specify an app for tvOS to run exclusively using single app mode. Let's create a new profile, provide a name, and a category. Next, we'll select Single App Mode on the left side and click Configure. To configure Single App Mode, we'll click on the tvOS Radio button and select our app either from the menu or by manually populating the App Bundle field. I'm going to select Movies, preventing users from opening other apps while this profile is applied. We have a few additional options, like disabling touch input, zoom, and preventing our users from modifying a few options under the Settings app. Once we've configured our profile, it's time to establish our scope. Again, I'm going to deploy this profile to specific devices and scroll down, find my Apple TV, and select it from the list. Hitting Save will deploy our profile, and we'll see our device launch the selected application. With single app mode applied, users will no longer have the option of switching apps or closing the specified app. Another profile available to tvOS is home screen layout. Again, let's create a new profile and provide a name and a category. After clicking Home Screen Layout in the Payload sidebar, we'll toggle to the tvOS radio button. And by clicking Add and typing in the name of an app, Jamf Pro will query the App Store, allowing us to click on the corresponding app while Jamf Pro populates the bundle identifier. Once we find our app, we can hit the small Save button. We can also add multiple apps in this way. We can also add folders to contain apps. I'm going to create a media folder here, and after saving it, we'll see a submenu where we can populate this folder with apps. Adding apps to a folder works the same way as adding them to the home screen. We'll just click Add, supply the app name, select the bundle identifier, and click Save in that apps row. I'm going to scope this profile to my device by clicking the Scope tab, adding my device from the list here, and clicking the Save button. Back on our Apple TV, we'll see our tvOS apps have arranged themselves in order. Apps not defined by the profile have arranged themselves below our specified apps and folders. To wrap up, configuration profiles for tvOS allow administrators to secure devices and minimize hassle for end users when configuring, connecting, and utilizing Apple TVs. Our options will vary depending on whether our devices are supervised and which version of tvOS they are running. This has been Lesson 25, Configuration Profiles for tvOS. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in Lesson 26.